Hello, I believe we're live. Welcome to the stream. Be starting very soon. Actually, I might as well just change my screen. So there we go. So, hi everyone. I'll just take a second to read the comments. A quick introduction to myself. My name is Alyssa. I'm one of the cartooning and anime art teachers here at Wing Canvas. And today's theme is hairstyle challenge. So we'll be drawing anime characters and video game characters, as long as they're family friendly, in different hairstyles, different from their usual. So if you have a character that you'd like to request, please let me know who, as well as what kind of hairstyle would you like to see them in. The last time I checked, the poll that we put up, Kenma from Haikyuu won. So if you know him, that's good. Haikyuu, the volleyball anime. So I will get started with him. But if you have any other character suggestions, please let me know so we can start to pile up the requests, and I can start to choose them later as I finish him up. And since this is a hairstyle challenge, I will be going over like how to draw the hair and etc. I will be keeping them mostly portraits because I'm not really drawing the rest of the body since we're focusing on their hair. There we go. So I'm just gonna grab my pencil. Okay. Sorry about that. It's always the first drawing of the day where I'm like, huh, have to think extra. How was my week? I have a better question. How was your week, Em? How was everyone's week? I'd like to know. My week was okay. Like I said in previous streams, it's always like, I'm okay. Thank you for asking, though. So I'm just gonna start with a head. Let's keep this one simple. I'll probably just stick with a 3/4 view. Sailor Moon with a modern short mom hairstyle. I think that's fun. Yeah, I might do that. All the days are a blur. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I made his ear way too big. But yeah, if anyone has requests, art-related questions, please let me know, and I will try my best to answer them. Oh, I'm just gonna quickly save my file. Okay. So I'm just gonna focus on... Okay, let's try to speed this up. I'm overthinking this a little too much. And right, as I was saying, he has a middle part for his hair, and he has half blonde or mostly blonde hair, but he has like black roots of his natural hair. Kenma is a gamer. Yeah. I'm trying not to talk about anything that's like a spoiler. I know the whole gaming thing isn't a spoiler, but yeah. Okay, you know what? I'll stop talking before I regret saying something. That's a good idea. So waiting for this live stream to de-stress. Well, I'm glad you can de-stress here. Let me quickly check the time to see how much I've fumbled. 5 minutes. Wow, okay. I might just do a quick sketch underneath and clean it up on top. That's why I said gamer, it's safe. You're right, Em. Oh, right. I remember you are a Haikyuu manga reader as well. I don't really think he has like a bored face, but more like uninterested. Or is that the same thing? Personally, I don't think so, but... And I was asking Jesse earlier, what kind of hairstyle should he have? Because I was like, I'm a little stumped, as always. So I think we're gonna go with like a half up ponytail, because his hair's pretty long. Well, it's kind of long. But I remember it's kind of like this length. But I remember when my hair was that short. Well, I just called it long, but now I'm calling it short because my hair is really long in comparison. But when my hair was that short, I would do like the half up ponytail as well. I'm kind of drawing him from memory, we'll see. Yes, Jesse is in the chat. You know what? This is a mistake. I haven't drawn Kenma in years, so I can't draw him from memory. I've actually drawn him probably like a doodle before, but nothing that will help me remember what he actually looks like. So I'm just pulling up a reference. There he is. And right, his hair covers the sides of his face. The constantly present Jessie. She's always watching you guys. Right, so half up. So I'm just gonna focus on drawing the hair being pulled back. Kenma with spiky hair. He's already got a ponytail. A spiky ponytail? Maybe? I didn't give him any eyebrows. Let me put that in. I was wondering how come it's looking like that? So empty. I don't think this is actually too different from his hairstyle, but let me see. Ah yes, there we go. I remember having my hair up like this before and it looked horrible on me. I don't know why I ever did it. It's like, It looks fine on him, but... Oh, I'm not gonna erase his entire ear, probably just a little bit of it. And flip my drawing to see how that looks. I'm using Mesh Transform. just to see. I could make this part rounder. And then I will clean this up afterwards, so I could make more fixes later on. I think that looks better. And I will I will color these in because I'll try my best, at least flat coloring. So like no shading, but we'll see. Because a big part of what makes the character's hairstyle unique to them is also the color. So I'd like to try my best to include that in. Should I do line art? Now I'm thinking. This is like Jesse's territory though. But if they're heads, I'm thinking I could be kind of quick about it. I'll try to align Kenma first, and then if it goes pretty well, I might try outlining the rest. I'll never get used to Medibanks eraser. Oh no. Just read the comments pretty quickly. Yeah, I read the spiky hair like Hinata, but maybe if you have a different character in mind, just because Kenma will be one, and then I'm gonna need other characters anyway. So far I got Kenma and then Sailor Moon. I'll most likely give her, also a bob? Everyone's gonna have a bob at this point. I'm just giving everyone haircuts. Well, Kenma's not really a haircut. Jesse requested one? Yes. Although he's not an anime character, may I request Allister with half up as well? Everyone's gonna have a half up hairstyle. We'll see. Sure. Allister with his mask or without a mask? It's actually really tiny when I zoom out. Whatever's easier. I see. Alright, what is Kenma wearing? He's wearing a hoodie, I think. Or not, I think. I'm like 90% sure he should be wearing a hoodie. So I can kind of just imagine one in. Just something quick. Chloe. I believe he's wearing a hoodie, yeah. It's kind of funny because I actually have his reference up, but I'm totally not paying 100% attention to it. It's like half of me is looking at the reference and half of me is like, I can draw him from memory even though I can't. Um, I can draw Kuro from memory, but I can't draw Kenma. Hello, Chloe. And yeah, for anyone who's curious, I'm giving line art another shot today just because we're drawing a bunch of heads with different hairstyles, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm only lining Kenma for now, and if it goes absolutely bad, absolutely like time consuming, I probably won't continue it. But I think so far it's okay. I don't mind if it takes me like 10 minutes or something. 10 to 15 minutes. Getting confused by my own lines. I'll just undo that. And draw this part first because it's overlapping his head. Kuro's hair, please. It's so hard to draw. I was the same. Yeah. The first time I've ever tried drawing Kuro, I didn't get it. I just couldn't understand what was going on with his hair. I think realistically speaking, even though if I can draw it now, I still don't really understand it because the thing is that it's also anime hair. And then if you're the type of person who wants to incorporate some type of realism, it's like, interesting. That's how I feel. His ear looks really high up, so I'm just gonna try and knock that down a bit. And cheat a little bit. Ah yes, Jessie is our line art expert. Super fast, super clean. I can't say I hate line art because there's a time and place for line art when I do it, but it's not my first choice. Like if you ask me to choose between doing line art and doing something else, I will choose like digital painting. Just because it's become more forgiving for me. Hello, those who are just joining in, welcome. Today we're doing the hairstyle challenge, kind of. The real hairstyle challenge is when you take one character and draw them in like 6 different hairstyles. But today, you guys can request what character would you like to see in a different hairstyle, so they can be anime characters or video game characters, as long as they're family friendly. Then I will be glad to draw it. Or I will, let me take that back. I will consider drawing it. Let's see. Now I'm just thinking, his hair's pulled back, but a lot of this doesn't really make sense, which is my own fault. It's fine. This is fine. Oops, I keep merging it to the wrong layer. I think I'm kind of losing my pen pressure. Medibang. Let me just read the comments really quickly. With painting, you can hide some mistakes in bold shadows. True. I think you can also do that with line art. And, oh right, and of course, if you want to draw along with me, please do so. I'm getting stumped with his hair. With this ponytail. Let me just go for it. There we go. Now I can turn off the sketch. Just thicken up a few lines here and there. And let me see. Is this Medibang? Yes, and I swear I just read a comment that said, what tablet do I— oh yes, I see it now. Which tablet do I use? So, sorry if my mic keeps cutting in and out. I'm losing my voice. But I'm using a Huon. I can never really remember the exact model that I'm using, but I believe it is the GT191. And they have quite a lot of models that you can search up and kind of compare to see which one you would prefer. But it is a on-screen tablet, so I am drawing on the screen. Why is my magic wand? I wish Medibang would just make the reference default to layer versus default to canvas. I don't know if that's just me though. So I'm just gonna make a layer, put it underneath, and then I'm gonna add some flat colors. Inverse, and then add my flat colors. There we go. Let's see. Sakamura. Let me get my art supplies. Yes. Draw along with me. You don't have to draw like the exact same characters that I'm drawing. If you don't want to, you could come up with your own characters. Sorry, choose your own favorite characters from like series and stuff and give them a different hairstyle. Maybe I'll just color in his hair. I'm getting a little confused with my layers. So he has mostly blonde hair. That's really, really yellow, so I'm gonna knock down the saturation. I think that's closer to his hairstyle. Hair color, sorry. How do I connect it to my computer? If it's my tablet, it's with a, I believe, an HDMI cable that comes with the tablet, because it's not a tablet that you can run on its own like an iPad or something. It's like an extension of your computer monitor. If that makes any sense, hopefully I explained that properly. It's like you plug it into your computer and it's treated as a monitor and a tablet, or a monitor that you can that you happen to be able to draw on. I drew on the wrong layer, it's fine, whatever. I'm just merging everything. If it's Jessie, she colors all on one layer anyway, so I'm trying to embrace that. At least for the streams. To deselect, it's Control. I get confused because in some programs, to deselect, it's Alt. This is an empty layer, right? Okay. And then the inside, it can be black. And then I'm just gonna blur it out because those are his roots. Oops. There's a blur, isn't there? There we go. What's the shortcut for inverse? Yeah, Jesse answered that. Control-Shift-I, and then let's see. Do I have a Mac or Android? Oh, that's not directed to me. Oh. Or that was directed to me. Yeah, we both use PCs. Why does this guy look like from that one guy from Haikyuu? 'Cause it is. It's Kenma. I'm drawing Kenma. 'Cause he was on the poll and he won. There were some other characters as well. So I think at this rate, I'm probably not going to do line art for the rest of them because I am second guessing everything. Let me just erase a little bit. What's a good brush? The airbrush isn't working. Okay, there we go. This is totally not the look that I wanted to go for, but Betty Bang, why? Why? And I'm just gonna add in some strokes of the blonde, just so it's not such a harsh blob of two different colors. And I'm gonna blend it back to make it a little more blended, just pushing the color back. And then there we go. I guess I should color in the rest of his face, and then I can move on to the next character. Yeah, that took me way too long to do line art. So I'm probably not going to do it for the rest of them. And then his eyes are pretty similar to his hair color, they're just a little more golden. I should have just filled that in with like the bucket tool, but anyway. Wow, the comments are going really fast. I wanted to ask when I use the magic wand selection tool so it doesn't work properly. It might be because you are also, if you're using Medibang, it might be because you're using the reference. It might be on canvas. You can change it to layer. I wish it was set to layer by default, but it's not, unfortunately. That may be it. Don't feel like you have to use the magic wand either, because you can also use other tools like the lasso tool, which is shortcut L. It's the same function, it's just that you're making the selection yourself. Like if you absolutely cannot use the magic wand tool, then there are other solutions. That might be a little more time consuming, but you know, if you don't have a choice. Let's see. The other questions, there's so many comments. Do I watch tutorials? If I'm being completely honest, not often. We are teachers here at Wing Canvas though, so we do teach art classes. But these live streams are free, so these aren't really lessons. These are more like draw along with me's with a certain theme in mind. But yeah. I'm not saying that, oh, teachers don't watch tutorials. I'm just saying, like, me personally, I don't think Jessie does either, but we watch more like artists kind of at work and then observing what they do rather than like, first you do this, then this. Nothing wrong with tutorials though, like I watch tutorials for other things, like my other hobbies. Hello. Welcome. I'm just reading the comments again. Okay, that's all. Almost done, Kenma. I am almost done. And then I can move on to Sailor Moon, I believe, is next. And so, for anyone who is just now tuning in, feel free to request a character for me to draw. It can be an anime character or video game character as long as they are family friendly. If it's like a family friendly video game, as long as it has the E rating, I would say that's family friendly. That's super red, so I'm gonna knock that back. I'm just gonna create a group or folder. Let's see. Just so I don't regret it later. And then there's Kenma. I'm not gonna shade it. It's gonna take me forever if I shade it. And if I want to draw other characters. Let's see. So I'm gonna do Sailor Moon next. So I think I'm just gonna focus on having like a clean sketch, like I said. This is gonna be so sad because Kenma will be the only clean looking one. If it looks really, really off, like really different from each other, then I might do line art again, but we'll see. Let me just undo all of that. Go on the right layer. Oops. Free transform and perspective should be off. I want her head tilted. Maybe she can have like her hand on her chin. Like a typical cute anime girl pose. But then that means I'd have to draw a hand. It's fine. I'll draw in a hand. We're going to be having some March streams that focus on the basics, so I will be drawing a hand. I can't even say it. I will be doing a hand stream, so maybe Jessie can help out with this, but I can't remember the exact order that they're in. But I will be teaching how to draw eyes and hands, and then Jessie will be teaching how to draw feet and shoes, as well as bodies. How to draw bodies and anatomy. Overall body proportions and anatomy, yes. Yeah, I'm gonna be drawing Sailor Moon. It was a request. In a more modern hairstyle. If you have any characters you'd like to see, please let me know, and I will consider drawing them. Because after this, I'm out of characters. No, wait, I still have Allister. Jessie asked for Allister. After Allister, I'll be out of characters. I am just blocking out her hand, so I'm sorry if it looks like a skeleton right now. So again, I have her reference up, but I have the bad habit of not actually looking at it. So again, like typical cute anime girl pose. There was another request. I might have to scroll up because there are a lot of comments today. Let me focus on this first and then I'll take another look later. Oops. There we go. So I guess there are some parts of her hair that I should keep to show her as a character, like her bangs or her fringe, the style. She has that like middle part. But the rest of her hair I can kind of play around with it. No, wait, her hair is round like everywhere. I was gonna make it flip the other direction. So even if I just add in her bangs like this, you can tell right away that it's her because that's her signature fringe. Or should I do a completely different style? Like give her different bangs? A short modern hairstyle. Let me think. All I can think of is like a bob haircut. But at the same time, I want it to still look like her, so I'm just telling you guys my thought process. Oh yes, and the last thing that I forgot to mention about the March streams is that we will be changing the time. So right now our streams are from 12 to 2, but in March we'll be changing them to 4 to 6. The other request was... Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Why not like Urar... Oh, I can't say her name. Uraraka hairstyle. I have to search it up. I'm telling you guys, my anime knowledge is oh yeah, that is a cute hairstyle. I think that's pretty modern too. So that just means, oh, it's just like Kenma. It has hair at the front. Just like that. But that part of her hair is a bit longer. So I can add that in. Like that fringe. And sketch in her fingers, because I didn't do that already. I have a feeling that I'm actually kind of losing my pen pressure, but at the same time I can't really tell. Let's see. What outfit should I give her? She does, well, since she's Sailor Moon, she has that sailor collar. So I probably have to keep that in. and her necklace with a moon on it. With a moon on it. I said that really unclearly. There we go. Let me outline it. Just cause I signed up for this, so I'm gonna see this through. Cause if I leave her as sketchy and then Kenma is like lined, I feel like it's a little unfair. And the style doesn't fit. Let's see. Comments. Okay. I feel the need to give her like really long eyelashes. Magical girl. Just gonna zoom out, see how that looks. Because I find that when I'm doing line art, I'm really zoomed in. Her eye feels a little far. Man, why are my lines so... I don't want to use the stabilizer, like, sorry, the correction really high up because I think it's not gonna help me as much as I think it would. There we go. Just gonna move her mouth and her nose like closer up on her face because it'll make her look cuter. And a lot of her hair will be covering the sides of her face anyway, so... Yes, I do use mesh transform and other transform tools on my line art, even though I probably shouldn't be because it ruins the line quality. I'm just gonna try and focus here and then I'll read the comments afterwards. Although all the comments are about anime anyway, so it's fine. You need to go. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, well, we're almost at the halfway point. Wow, we're almost at the halfway point. And I'm still working on my second one. But yeah, if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, join us on social media, like our Discord, where Jessie and I post our finished drawings of from our streams. And yeah. I want to do at least 3. I feel like that's aiming for too low. I think at the speed that I'm going at, I could do 4. I feel like I messed up her bangs a little bit, but it looks kind of silly. Let me see. Made them really fluffy looking, so I could just shrink that down. Whoa, digital tricks. That looks better. Yeah. Yep. That looks a lot nicer. Once again, I forgot the eyebrows. So in anime, most of the time you can see their eyebrows through their hair. Realistically speaking, you wouldn't be able to see their eyebrows, but it's also, I find it becomes stylistic choice. I'm also used to seeing that. I'm gonna shrink her eyebrow because it's like lining up perfectly with her bangs and I don't want that. I'll also knock back the opacity because even though I want the eyebrows to show, I don't want them to show super clearly either. So that's what the line art looks like so far. I feel like her mouth could be bigger. Like right now it's just really tiny. Oops, that's a sketch. There we go. And then I'll add in the rest of her hair. I'm not too worried about the hand because it's gonna be on top of the hair and I'll change that. I'll line it later. And then I can erase any lines that are overlapping. You also have to go, well, Have a good one. Thank you for tuning in. Might just add some other strands of hair. And then I will draw on her hand. That keyboard is loud. Yeah, I have a mechanical keyboard. I actually don't like the clicking noises, personally, but the thing is that I can't hear it anyway because I have headphones. So in the past I would always be like, I don't want a loud keyboard, but then the reality is that I can't even hear it because I either have noise canceling headphones or my music is too loud, so it's like, huh, I can't hear it anyway, but I like the feel of it because it's really... What's the word that they use for mechanical keyboards? Tactile? Or responsive? But yeah, if you hear my keyboard, that's when I'm doing shortcuts. So I have her hand lined in, and I'm just gonna erase any overlapping lines. I might want her hair to overlap the hand, actually, now that I think about it. So I'll get rid of that. And then any lines of her neck, I can erase. Does she wear earrings? Oh yeah, she does. I have her reference up. I don't know how many times I've said that already, but I have her reference up. It's just that I'm not looking at it 100%. Whenever I look at a reference or when I'm drawing a character, and it's supposed to be like, I'm supposed to draw in my own style, I try to not obsess over the reference so much. Or else I'm gonna be so obsessed in like how the artist drew the character. Like, of course I want her design to show up or to be relevant. But yeah. I have no idea what her earrings look like, actually, because they're so small. Let me open up that image. It's just a moon and then circles. That's fine. Okay. She looks cute, thank you. She's wearing a glove, so I could have like some creases in her glove, just to show that a little bit. Oops. I merged my layers. So for Jessie, since I'm gonna be drawing your request after this, Allister, where should the ponytail be if it's like a half-up ponytail? Like Kenma's ponytail is at the back. Did you want the ponytail also like that? Just adding in her necklace. Do we have a Patreon? We do. That's what I forgot to talk about. Just recently, we've opened up our Patreon. And yeah, you can check that out in the description, in the video description. And currently, since we've just opened it, we have a tier that is very limited. I believe it's for 20 people or 30 people. And if you'd like to support us for creating more content, creating more streams, or sorry, doing more streams, feel free to. Let's see, what am I getting confused in now? I think I named my layers like one time, and then like I keep forgetting to do that now. Let's see. A moon. No, no, no. I'm gonna redo that. Oh, it's not in the description? Huh. It should be at the very bottom. If not, I believe it is Patreon / just wing canvas, one word. If Jessie or Wing Canvas Mod wants to do a fact check on that. Yeah, it should just be our name on Patreon. That's what I think as well. Oh, that's a tangent. And I believe those are the lines. Sorry, I meant to say I believe the lines are done. Not those are the lines. What else would they be? Just thickening up any lines that would casting a shadow. Just doing a magic wand selection, inverse. And then add in a base color. And her hair is really, really, like golden. That's too golden, so I'm gonna knock that back a little bit. Maybe a bit more yellow. I think that's better. I forgot her headband. That's what's missing. Oh well, it's too late now. I might add that in later, but for now, this is fine. I'm just gonna color pick from Kenma the whites of his eyes. And her eyes are really, really blue. Oh, my brush isn't at 100, that's why. I like adding in the shadow of the eye, just because I find that when the pupil is floating on its own, it looks really creepy. And because, well, we will talk about this more in the live stream, in our March live streams, where we're focusing on drawing just the basics of characters, bodies, that we'll talk a bit more about eye anatomy there. And then of course we need the highlights. Because if we don't have highlights, they also look they also look strange. Hi Faye. Any tips on how you would age an anime character? I find that it also depends on the anime style, because sometimes they look really believable, like they are older characters, while some animes they just add like a few wrinkles underneath the eyes and call it a day. Oops. if it's like me personally, oops, I was set onto transparent. I'm just gonna give her a little bit of lipstick. Or just color to her lips to make her look a tiny bit older. And then I will blur that out. I will never get over Medibank's eraser. I'll never get used to it. I'll read the comments in just a second. There we go. Yeah, hi Arunia. It is Sailor Moon in a different hairstyle. So right now we're doing anime characters with different hairstyles from their usual. And her sailor suit is actually the same color as her eyes. And magenta for a necklace. And then I'm just gonna add the color for her jewelry. Oops. Her jewelry and her glove. I'm not gonna add a ton of detail, but I can at least add like some shines to make it look like metal. And her glove. So I'm just gonna do that all on the same layer. And her gloves are just white. I had Protect Alpha on, that's why it wasn't working. Well, there we go. There she is. I think I'm just gonna add just a highlight. Anime nose highlight. Lip highlight. The curve in the middle always brings you back to Sailor Moon. Yeah, that's her iconic bangs. That's why I felt like I really needed to include it, even if I change the rest of her hairstyle. Let's see. Thank you. Love the illustration. Thank you. Never watched it. What is it like? I have not watched it at an age where I can remember the story. Because I remember watching it as a child, like maybe when I was 3 to 4 years old. But from my understanding, it is a magical a magical girl anime. I don't know the actual story, the actual plot or anything like that. I'm just gonna put her in all one folder. Is this an empty layer? No, that's Kenma. Getting confused. Okay. Next is Jesse's request, Allister. Allister from Pokemon Sword and Shield. I might draw him without the mask. Just to fit in a bit more with the anime character theme. He looks so sad in his league card. But yeah, if anyone else has any requests, feel free to let me know. I think after Allister, I'll be able to do one more. I know there was another request, but I was thinking, is it family friendly? I need to do a fact check. Who is he? He sounds familiar. He is from the Pokemon games, Pokemon Sword and Shield. So the newest Pokemon game. I'm thinking, how should I draw him? He should be facing off to this side because I drew one character 3/4 to the left, the front, and then I should do one that's to the right. I'll have him facing down. Yeah, the other request is family friendly. Already checked it out. Okay. I see. Thank you, Jesse. I've already made him look too old. Right from the beginning. I'm pretty sure it has to do with this jaw. They're both frowning. No, wait. Kenma just looks bored. Allister can look more worried. Oh, come on, love that game. Soma. True. Okay. If Jesse says it's family friendly, um, Link with a mullet and handlebar mustache. That would definitely be funny to see. Just squish the head down. Yep. I got rid of the jaw a little bit because that also makes him look too old. Have to think in round shapes. I still don't know him. No worries. I don't know Allister that well either. Because he's only in the Shield copy of the game. Which I do not own. He looks so sad. I don't want him to be super sad. It's a cute one, yeah. I think Pokemon is a really cute game. It's very, to me, it's very chill, but also because I never play competitive games or competitively. His face still needs to be rounder, but I will fix that later on in the line art. Can't be bothered with fumbling with the sketch too much. And the thing with Pokemon Pokemon art style, is that it's really still really graphic. So a lot of the hair is like big pieces, big chunks of hair. And a ponytail. Is it half up or just a ponytail? I'll draw just a ponytail first. Is his hair even long enough for a ponytail? Oh well, I won't question it. I'll just somehow draw it. And I'm gonna make his neck thinner compared to the other characters since he's younger. He still looks so sad. I can't really tell what does... Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, just a ponytail. They're really tiny, tiny one. So next, I'm going to do the line art. I still feel like I made him look too old actually. But I'll try my best to fix it in the line art. I'm just trying to squish everything even more, like closer together. How do I make anime boys look different from the girls if they have bigger eyes? Most of the male characters look kinda angry. Yeah, that's what I try not to do. uh, I know it's kind of like a um typical thing for a lot of guys in anime to just look either angry or their eyebrows are always like pointed down. I don't think I take that too seriously. I kind of just draw the character how I see them, and my style is kind of like, how should I put it? I guess if it's outside of the eyes, I would make the jaw stronger. Hi, Emma. I would make the jaw stronger. I would make the neck thicker. Um, I could still give them bigger eyes, but I might give them less eyelashes. Like, I still give my male characters eyelashes, but I might consider giving them less. Um, but yeah, I find that it's also other factors in the character that will help versus just the eyes. You could also give them like thicker eyebrows. I'm not drawing any like super masculine characters, it seems, this time. All the characters requested are very soft looking. Either soft or friendly. Thanks for the tips, of course. Jessie, for me it's usually the jawline, but overall, yeah, don't care too much. Hey Jay. You got half hour left of the stream. I'm going to try and finish one more, but I'll try my best. I find that for me, 3 is like the safe number. Yeah, so for Allister, I might not give him like um the eyelashes that I usually give my characters, or maybe just like one. Charlie, I draw all my male characters with eyelashes too. Yeah, because if you if you think about it realistically, everyone has eyelashes. I don't think it should be like a huge deal because everyone has eyelashes unless if they don't for other reasons. Show me how to draw the anime hair. We got one. We got one currently right now, Allister. But with Pokemon hair, I find that the style of the show also influences me a little bit, or the game of whatever character that I'm drawing, because they already have a certain style. I need to make his iris bigger. Because if it's too small, that's when it looks a little questionable. But yeah, if anyone has any last minute requests, just so Zakamura knows, I do try to do the requests like in order. Sometimes I'm not able to do everyone's requests. He just looks really worried all the time whenever I see pictures of Allister, because Jesse is saying that he looks the opposite of, he's actually the opposite of dangerous. And when I search up his images to reference, someone with curly hair. That's actually a good one. If you have any characters with curly hair that you want me to draw. I'm like trying my best to speed up, but no speed here. There's no speed here. Just snail. Yeah, so for the Pokemon art style, I'm not... It's really, really graphic. Like, it's a bunch of shapes, but I'm trying to figure out how do I translate that into, like, my own... a mix of my own style. But yeah, so far we have Kenma from Haikyuu in a half-up ponytail. Sailor Moon with a shorter hairstyle, a shorter, more modern hairstyle, and Allister, who Jessie asked for, also in a ponytail. I'm just gonna check the time really quickly. Oh my goodness. Should have time to sketch out one more. Yes, curly hair. I remember M was the one who asked for Sakusa in the past. So I see. Although to me his hair is more wavy rather than curly. I'm just gonna draw his hair being pulled back a bit, or as best as I can. That looks funny, so I'm gonna try that again. Yeah, for anyone who's curious, I am working in line art for whatever reason. Today I didn't have a specific reason why actually. I just started drawing and was like, I should do line art. I'm only drawing a couple of characters. Sorry, I'm only drawing portraits anyway. But yeah. I have nothing to add other than yeah. Let's see how it looks without the sketch. Yeah, that looks okay. And then a bit of his uniform. The collar. Does the anime character have to be human? I think it's just easier if they're human. Well, it depends on what character, so feel free to request anyway. Just gonna move this suspender. Goku with his spiky hair permed. That would be fun. Okay, I'm just gonna color him in really quickly. I think I can just color pick from Sailor Moon, and then... Oh, I didn't close off his, what is it called? Line art? So... just gonna color this in. So there is his skin tone, and then his hair is like a dark purple, blue. Just gonna erase that. This is what I get for not filling this in properly. I feel like his hair can be a little more saturated, but we'll see. I think you can say his uniform is kind of the same color, so I'll just fill that in. Like, some parts are different, but I'm just gonna fill this in first. And then purple for the collar. And then white for the suspenders. Color picking from Sailor Moon's eyes. Because I'm not using like a 100% white, it has a little bit of gray in it. Oops. the buttons are not white. I take it back. Oops. I'm like not, I'm looking at my other screen while coloring. That's why I'm coloring outside of the lines. The colors definitely made him feel more masculine for some reason. Yeah. And the line art, thank you. I'm glad to hear that because, yeah, line art. I just feel like my drawing should be just a little cleaner. Even if it means drawing just a little less. A little less than I could usually. What color are his eyes? I think also purple. Or like purple in the middle. I'm just gonna blur out this purple color that I added. So I'm gonna go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Can't wait for the stream about eyes. Yeah, so for anyone who missed it, we are going to be doing a March stream series where we focus on just doing the basics. I believe it's called March Back to the Basics. A very appropriate name, and the time will be changing to 4 to 6 p.m. EST. And then I'll just add a little bit of shine to his eyes. I don't think, no, he does. He does have a little bit, but it's like in the middle. So there we go. I also just want to make the skin tone a little more darker. Just to balance out with all the other dark colors that he has. And then I will also put him in a group. In a folder. I think I have time to sketch one more. Hey, Emmy. Question, how are you coloring but not going outside of the lines? So the way that I color is that I have one base color and I just take the time to fill this in properly, like within the lines. I could use magic wand around my lines, inverse, fill it in, and then any colors I'd like to use on top, I can clip. So this is, where's my eyeball? There it is. If I unclip, it looks like this. If I clip, it looks like it's clipping to this layer. Or you can also just color all on one layer with alpha lock on. It does the same thing, but all on one layer. Yeah. Hi people, I am here because I need to draw. I need inspiration to draw some anime-like hairstyles. Oh, hello. We have about 10 minutes left, 10 to 15 minutes left, but since you're tuning in, we have Kenma from Haikyuu, Sailor Moon, and Allister from Pokemon Sword and Shield. I hope they can inspire you. I'm gonna try to sketch one more, and then we'll see how far we get. So, Soma from Food Wars. But what kind of hairstyle? Who asked for it? Zakamura. What hairstyle did you want him in? He has a very spiky anime boy hairstyle. I'm just gonna start sketching out ahead, or if anyone else has like a request, I'll I might switch my decision. Curly hair. Quick, is there a character with curly hair that I can draw, or do you just want to see curly hair? I'm just gonna draw a random head and a random face. If you can think of a character who has curly hair, let me know. If you can't, I'll just draw a random head within the remaining time. So this one isn't a specific character unless if you guys come up with one. Link or Goku, but a guy. I started drawing like a girl in mind, but maybe Link then. Link with curly hair? Link with curly hair? I'm trying to imagine it. Um, let me, let me change this. So he's like looking up. All of the male characters here are either like, they're not smiling. Link with curly hair. I keep repeating it because I'm trying to picture it in my head, as if that helps. So I am looking at picture reference of Link. I don't think I'll finish the line art for this, but I will try to get a sketch done. He's an elf. No, whatever he is. But he has elf ears. I feel like if I just say stuff, people who are like huge fans are gonna come for me, so I'm gonna be careful about what I say. Zelda. Hmm. I could turn this into Zelda actually. Because again, like I said, when I start drawing, they're neither they're not a certain character. Maybe Zelda with curly hair. True. She has longer hair too. That's why I feel like maybe it makes more sense. I'll just turn this into her. Sure. Thanks, Jay. I'm looking at her pictures from Breath of the Wild. kind of curls? Ringlets. Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, because I'm trying to think of more like actual curls versus drawing wavy hair, because we've covered wavy hair in a hair tutorial, but not really like ringlets, like curly hair. I like the braid that she has though, so I might keep that. It's not too late, yeah. Thankfully. We might go a bit over the time, just because I want to get the sketch done. But I can say for sure I won't get the line art done. So she has a middle part, it looks like. So like I could make this, oops, my arrow keys. I bumped one of my arrow keys. I can make this jaw less strong looking to make it look a bit rounder and move her features up a bit. I'm running out of space in terms of the width of my canvas. So I could have her like neck out a bit. Nah, I don't like that. Let me try that again. So it could be like, these are cropped portraits, so I'm not drawing the entirety of them. They kind of disappear into the bottom, so she could kind of have her shoulder like here. And then she has a collar. And I am looking at photo reference, just so you guys know. Picture reference, I mean, these are not photos, they're not photographs. So I have, oops, I have her head. I find that this eye is really far, so I'm just gonna move that in. Make it a little bigger. And then there we go. Curly hair. Or like if you were to take a curling iron and curl your hair. At least for in Zelda's case. Because her hair is naturally straight, from what I can see. And I'm just gonna keep that braid she has, so I'm just drawing these heart shapes along her head. Drew that a little too close to the front, so I'm just gonna push it back. So I'm just drawing the hair that she has on the side, more wavy. And then the hair at the back. So I guess she would have like the ringlet curls down here. So I could just block out the overall shape of her hair. So there aren't any ringlets now, but I will I'll add them in place. So I would use these shapes. Just like this. And then draw them along the hair. Thanks for joining. It was nice to have you here too. And yeah, we hope to see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. That was to Sakamura. I hope that didn't sound like the stream was ending kind of message. Not yet. Not yet. Once I finish sketching her hair. So I'm drawing a lot of lines that like wrap around the hair, just like that. And then I could add some more like loose strands of hair. I would definitely have to clean this up, but this is just the beginning. But yeah, or I'm thinking, should I try again? Let me try another style. But this is more like wavy. But it's fine. I guess you get to quickly see two different styles. It's mostly my lines are just more wavy. The outside of the hair, I don't change too much, because I just kept the volume of her hair the same. And yeah, I would say, like I said, I'm not gonna get the line art done for Zelda, but yeah, I would say that is it for today. Let me just pull up some stuff. So again, if you didn't already, don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course join us on social media, and I will post the finished or either just this as well, depending on what I get done, to our Discord channel. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. Jesse, we'll see you guys next week. And just a reminder, we do have the March streams that are focusing on the basics, so tune in for that, and the time will change to 4 to 6 p.m. EST on Fridays. But yep, thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a good day. Bye!